weapons of mass destruction.
Mm-hmm.
The intelligence basis for this was pretty well across the board. Democrats, Republicans,
absolutely.
the coalition, all the countries.
They all agreed with the information.
Right. But the country always comes up. The question is always asked, were there WMDs? Did the administration mislead or lie about it in Iraq?
Yeah, it is inexcusably inaccurate to suggest that anyone lied about it. President Bush did not lie. Dick Cheney did not. Colin Powell, who made the presentation to the United Nations, did not. And it's unfortunate that people, for political reasons, began to contend that was the case. People who had seen the same intelligence in the Senate, but when they were running for president on the Democratic side, decided that it would be advantageous to use that issue, and they did. It was just now, you asked the question, what weapons of mass destruction actually existed? Well, before the fact, they existed in the sense that Saddam Hussein had used chemical weapons against Iran. He had used chemical weapons against his own people, the Kurds.
The Kurds, right.
And and the United Nations inspectors knew that he had stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction at one point. After the invasion of Iraq, the reality is that something happened to the stockpiles. Either they were buried, or they were moved out of the country, or he had destroyed them. But we do know that they existed in this sense. The people who made them, the competence, the kludge of people who were capable of doing this still existed and were still together for chemical and nuclear and biological weapons. The precursors needed to make those chemical and biological weapons were there and existed. And third, the dual-use facilities that could be used for both civilian and military purposes still existed. Now, books have been written by an Iraqi general contending that they were physically moved out into another country. I don't know that. I know that Delfer, who did the official report on what happened, said what I just said, that the precursors and the people and the facilities were there. They could have ramped up within a matter of weeks. We also know that up in Kermal, north of Baghdad, we found ricin in a facility where the Ansar al-Islam people, which were connected with Zarqawi, as I recall, actually had an underground facility where our people went in and found ricin and various other chemical protective suits, documents in Arabic as to how you make chemical weapons. So the idea that they never existed or didn't exist or that someone had lied is, as I say, inexcusably irresponsible.